Look around you. Everyone is performing. Every face, every smile, every carefully chosen filter, a desperate scream for validation from strangers who will forget them by morning. But then there are the others, the silent ones, the men whose faces you cannot find, the ones who move through life leaving no trail, no selfies, no digital fingerprints begging for applause. And let me tell you something most people are too weak to admit. Those silent ones are the most dangerous people in the room. They are not shy. They are not insecure. They are not missing out. They have simply understood a truth the loud crowd will never grasp. Visibility is vulnerability. Exposure is weakness dressed as confidence. Every photo you post is a piece of your power handed freely to people who would use it against you without hesitation. The silent man knows this. He watches, he calculates, he builds. While the world performs for likes, he performs for results. While they chase attention, he chases leverage. While they bleed their lives onto a screen, he keeps his blood inside his veins, where it belongs. Machiavelli wrote that men who reveal everything are easily destroyed, because the world cannot strike what it cannot see, and the silent ones, they have read between those lines. They have chosen the oldest, coldest, most ruthless form of power that exists. The power of the unseen. The power of the unknown. The power of the man who refuses to be consumed. So before you scroll past another stranger's perfect life, ask yourself one question. Who is watching them? And who is watching you watch them? Because somewhere out there, a silent man is taking notes. And he is winning. The mask of absence. Understand this. Absence is not emptiness. Absence is a weapon. When you remove yourself from the feed, from the timeline, from the endless parade of curated faces, you do not disappear. You multiply. You become a shadow that grows larger in the minds of everyone who notices you are missing. That is the first secret the silent men understand. The crowd believes attention is power. They are wrong. Attention is rent. You pay it daily, and you own nothing at the end. But absence is property. Absence is land. Absence is the empty throne that everyone stares at and wonders who deserves to sit on it. Machiavelli taught that a prince must be feared more than loved, but above both, he must be unreadable. Because the moment men can read you, they can predict you. The moment they can predict you, they can defeat you. So the silent man wears the mask of absence like armor. He does not explain his life. He does not announce his plans. He does not broadcast his pain or parade his victories. He lets the world guess. He lets them invent stories about him, and he lets those stories work in his favor while he sleeps. People fear what they cannot categorize. People respect what they cannot reach. People obsess over what they cannot have. And nothing is more unreachable than a man who refuses to be photographed by the world. So learn this and burn it into your bones. Every time you resist the urge to post, you grow. Every time you swallow the need to be seen, you sharpen. The mask of absence is heavy, but it is the only mask that does not slip. And the man who wears it walks untouched through a world drowning in faces. The Machiavellian mind. The Machiavellian mind does not think like the herd. It does not feel the itch to be witnessed. It does not crave the small dopamine crumbs that the crowd lines up for like beggars at a gate. It thinks in moves. It thinks in consequences. It thinks 3 winters ahead while the rest of the world thinks about tomorrow's brunch. Understand the architecture of this mind, because it is the blueprint of every man who has ever ruled quietly. He sees people as variables, not enemies, not friends, variables. Some useful, some dangerous, some forgettable. He studies them the way a chess player studies a board, and he never reveals which piece he is. The loud man tells you who he is in his bio. The silent man lets you guess for years, and dies without correcting you. Because the Machiavellian knows a brutal truth, every detail you give the world becomes a hook the world can pull. Your photo becomes a profile. Your profile becomes a pattern. Your pattern becomes a prediction. And once you are predictable, you are property. So he starves the world. He gives it nothing. No timeline of his face. No archive of his moods. No public record of his weaknesses. He keeps his identity locked behind a door no algorithm can open. And while the loud men beg the crowd to define them, he defines himself in silence, alone, by his own standards, with no audience and no apology. That is the Machiavellian mind. It does not seek to be liked. It seeks to be free. And freedom, real freedom, begins the day you decide that no stranger on this earth is ever again allowed to know what your face looked like this morning. The currency of mystery. Mystery is the oldest currency on earth, and almost no one knows how to spend it anymore. The crowd has forgotten its value. They trade it away every morning for a handful of likes from people who do not love them. But the silent man, he hoards it like gold. He understands that mystery is not a personality trait. It is leverage. It is a financial instrument. It is the one asset that grows in value the longer you refuse to spend it. Think about it coldly. Why does the world chase what it cannot fully see? Why do men obsess over the woman who does not text back? Why do investors pour fortunes into companies that refuse to explain themselves? Why do legends grow louder after the man stops speaking? Because the human mind cannot tolerate a blank space. It must fill it, and whatever it fills it with is almost always larger, sharper, and more powerful than the truth. That is the gift mystery hands you for free. The world will exaggerate you in your absence. The world will build a myth around the silhouette you refuse to illuminate. And that myth will open doors that your face never could. Machiavelli knew this. He wrote that men judge more by the eye than by the hand, because everyone can see, but few can touch. So give them nothing to see. Let their eyes strain. Let their imaginations sweat. Let them invent a version of you so powerful that the real you walks into every room already 3 steps ahead. The man who posts everything is spending his currency on children's candy. The man who posts nothing is buying empires in silence. Choose which buyer you want to be. Then act like it. The weakness of exposure. Every photo you post is a confession. Every story you share is a witness statement against your future self. Understand this slowly, because the crowd will never tell you. Exposure is not confidence. Exposure is bleeding in public and calling it art. The moment you upload your face, you have handed strangers a key to your mood, a key to your location, a key to your insecurities, a key to the version of you that you were trying to convince yourself you had become. And strangers do not use keys gently. They use them to enter, to judge, to compare, to mock, to file you away in a category you will never escape. The loud man does not see the chains forming. He sees engagement. He sees little red hearts. He sees the brief warm glow of being noticed by people who would not attend his funeral. But the silent man sees the trap clearly. He knows that every post is a data point, and every data point is a weapon waiting for the right hand. He knows that what you reveal today will be screenshot, archived, twisted, and resurrected on the worst day of your life. So he refuses, not from fear, but from strategy, not from shame, but from sovereignty. Machiavelli warned that the prince who shows his cards loses the game before it begins, and social media is nothing but a table of men flipping their cards face up and laughing as they do it. Do not laugh with them. Do not bleed with them. Keep your face. Keep your moods. Keep your victories and your scars locked behind a door the world cannot pick. Because exposed men are managed, hidden men are feared, and feared men are free. The predator's patience. Watch how a predator moves. It does not announce itself. It does not perform for the forest. It does not post pictures of every meal it has ever eaten. It waits. It studies. It breathes slowly while the loud animals scream their location into the wind. That is the posture of the silent man. He is not absent because he is empty. He is absent because he is hunting. While the crowd dances on the timeline, he is reading them. Every post tells him something. Their fears, their cycles, their wounds, their cravings, their weak hours. He collects this information like a general collects maps before a war, and they hand it to him for free, smiling, because they think attention is the prize. He knows the prize is patience. Machiavelli wrote that fortune favors the bold, but boldness without patience is just noise wearing a crown. The real power belongs to the man who can sit still while others sprint, who can stay quiet while others confess, who can vanish for months and return sharper than the day he left. The predator does not need applause to know he is dangerous. He does not need a follow account to know his weight. He measures himself by what he can resist, not by what he can display. So learn the stillness. Learn to watch a conversation without entering it. Learn to read a room without lighting yourself on fire to be seen in it. Learn to let people underestimate you, because every man who underestimates you is a man you have already defeated. The world rewards the loudest in the short term and the quietest in the long term. Choose your timeline. Predators do not blink. Predators do not post. Predators wait, and then they move. The architecture of control. While the crowd builds a stage, the silent man builds a fortress. Understand the difference, because it will decide the shape of your entire life. A stage is for applause. A fortress is for survival. A stage collapses the moment the audience leaves. A fortress stands long after the world has forgotten your name. The loud man pours his hours into performances no one will remember by Friday. The silent man pours his hours into structures no one can tear down. He builds skills in the dark. He builds money in the dark. He builds networks in rooms with no cameras. He builds a body, a mind, a discipline, a reputation among the few that matter, and he does it all without uploading a single frame of proof. Because he knows proof is for the insecure, results are for the dangerous. Machiavelli taught that the wise prince fortifies himself before the storm, not during it. And the storm is always coming. Markets crash, friends betray, bodies age. Reputations get attacked by people who do not even know you. The man who built a fortress in silence walks through these storms calmly. The man who built a stage watches his life burn on camera and begs the comments section for sympathy. Decide right now which architect you want to be. Every hour you spend curating your image is an hour stolen from building your empire. Every minute you spend chasing engagement is a brick missing from your wall. The silent man does not post his progress because his progress is the wall itself, and walls do not need an audience. They only need to hold. So build quietly. Build ruthlessly. Build like the world is watching, and then make sure the world never sees a single brick. The dark psychology of detachment. Detachment is the coldest weapon in the human arsenal, and almost no one has the spine to wield it. The crowd confuses detachment with loneliness. They are not the same. Loneliness is wanting the world and being denied. Detachment is being offered the world and quietly refusing the price. The silent man has made that refusal. He has unhooked himself from the invisible strings that pull every loud man through his day. The string of approval, the string of envy, the string of comparison, the string of needing to be witnessed in order to feel real. He cut them all. And the moment those strings fall, something terrifying happens. he becomes ungovernable. You cannot bribe a man who does not need your applause. You cannot threaten a man who does not need your acceptance. You cannot manipulate a man whose self-image was not built by the comments section. That is the dark psychology the world does not want you to learn, because a detached man is a man no system can fully own. Machiavelli understood that emotion is the leash by which princes are dragged to their ruin. The man who feels too much, shares too much, needs too much, he is already a servant, no matter what title he holds. So the silent man trains his nervous system like a soldier trains his body. He does not flinch at being forgotten. He does not panic at being misunderstood. He does not bleed when strangers do not clap. He has made peace with invisibility, and in that peace he has found a power louder than any post could ever generate. Detach. Detach from the timeline. Detach from the validation. Detach from the version of yourself that needs to be seen. And watch how quickly the world starts watching you instead. The untouchable self. There comes a moment in a man's life when he stops being a profile and starts being a presence. That moment is the birth of the untouchable self. The untouchable man is not invincible. He bleeds like everyone else. But nothing the world throws at him can reach the part of him that matters, because that part is not on display. It is not on a feed. It is not in a comment section. It is buried so deep inside him that no algorithm, no enemy, no ex, no employer, no stranger with a screenshot can ever drag it into the light. That is what it means to be untouchable. Not unreachable in body, unreachable in soul. The crowd cannot understand this man. They will call him cold. They will call him arrogant. They will call him strange. Let them. Their labels are the sound of small minds trying to reduce something they cannot categorize. Machiavelli wrote that the wise man builds himself a citadel within, where no army can enter, no betrayal can poison, no rumor can burn. The untouchable self is that citadel. It is constructed brick by brick. Every time you choose silence over performance, depth over display, mystery over confession. And once it is built, your entire life changes. You walk slower, you speak less, you react to nothing. People sense the weight of you before you ever open your mouth. Women feel it, men respect it, enemies hesitate around it. And the loud world, for all its noise, suddenly seems very small from the height you now stand at. This is the man you were always meant to become. Not a profile, not a personality, a presence, a force, a door the world keeps knocking on and never gets to open. The final command. So here we are, at the edge of everything you have just learned. And now comes the only question that matters. What will you do with it? Will you go back to the timeline and keep bleeding your face into a machine that does not love you? Or will you close the app, lock the door, and begin the slow, ruthless construction of a man the world cannot reach? The choice is not dramatic. It is daily. It is made in the small moments when your thumb hovers over the upload button and something inside you whispers, post it, prove it, be seen, kill that voice, bury it. That voice is the voice of every weak man who ever lost his power to strangers. The silent man does not argue with that voice. He simply walks past it, every single day, until the voice goes quiet forever. Machiavelli's final lesson was this: power is not given, it is taken in silence by those patient enough to wait for it. You are now one of those few. You have the map. You have the mindset. You have the mask. Wear it. Now, if this monologue reached the part of you that the world has been trying to bury, I want you to do one thing before you leave. Go down to the comments and write this exact phrase: I am the silent storm they will never see coming. Write it like a vow. Write it like a man who has just remembered who he is. And before you go, if you want more truths the loud world will never teach you, Hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the notification bell so the next lesson finds you the moment it drops. Stay silent, stay sharp, stay untouchable.